Hey everybody, it's Darkling Muffin, and welcome back to more Let's Play The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. In the last episode, we explored the town market and made it through the castle courtyard. And in this episode, we're going to meet the Princess of Destiny. But before we do that, I do want to show off that over to the right of the courtyard is a little bit of an Easter egg that I'm sure most of you probably know about. You might not know that it's actually different in the 3DS version to the N64 version. It shows a level from Mario, whereas in the N64 version, it shows a bunch of portraits of Mario characters. Mario, Luigi, Bowser, Peach, Yoshi, I think, are all in there. I think that's it. But if you take out your slingshot and shoot at it, you get yourself a nice little red rupee. How pleasant. Over on the other side, this one is slightly less well known. There's a lovely little vase there. What happens if you shoot the vase with the slingshot? Hey you! Don't cause any trouble! And he throws a freaking bomb at you! Anyway, let's do exactly what we were supposed to do in the first place, and meet with the Princess of Destiny.
What? Who are you? How did you get past the guards? Oh? What's that? Is that a fairy? Then are you from the forest? Then you wouldn't happen to have the spiritual stone of the forest, would you? That green and shining stone? Do you have it? Just as I thought. I had a dream. In the dream, dark storm clouds were billowing over the land of Hyrule. But suddenly, a ray of light shot out of the forest, parted the clouds, and lit up the ground. The light turned into a figure holding a green and shining stone, followed by a fairy. I knew this was a prophecy that someone would come from the forest. Yes, I thought you might be the one. Oh, I'm sorry. I got carried away with my story and didn't even properly introduce myself. I am Zelda, Princess of Hyrule. What is your name? Link? Strange. It sounds somehow familiar. Okay then, Link. I'm going to tell you the secret of the sacred realm that has been passed down by the royal family of Hyrule. Please keep this a secret from everyone. The legend goes like this. The three goddesses hid the Triforce containing the power of the gods somewhere in Hyrule. The power to grant the wish of the one who holds the Triforce in his hands. If someone with a righteous heart makes a wish, it will lead Hyrule to a golden age of prosperity. If someone with an evil mind has his wish granted, the world will be consumed by evil. That is what has been foretold. So the ancient sages built the Temple of Time to protect the Triforce from evil ones. That's right, the Temple of Time is the entrance through which you can enter the sacred realm from our world. But the entrance is sealed with a stone wall called the Door of Time. And in order to open the door, it is said that you need to collect 3 spiritual stones. Another thing you need is the treasure that the royal family keeps along with this legend. The Ocarina of Time. Did you understand well the story I just told you? That's great. I forgot to tell you. I was spying through this window just now. The other element from my dream, the dark clouds, I believe they symbolize that man in there. Will you look through the window at him? Can you see the man with the evil eyes? That is Ganondorf, the leader of the Gerudo. They hail from the desert far to the west. Though he swears allegiance to my father, I am sure he is not sincere. The dark clouds that covered Hyrule in my dream, they must symbolize that man. What happened? Did he see you? Don't worry. He doesn't have any idea what we're planning, yet. Yes, I told my father about my dream. However, he didn't believe it was a prophecy. But I can sense that man's evil intentions. What Ganondorf is after must be nothing less than the Triforce of the Sacred Realm. He must have come to Hyrule to obtain it. And he wants to conquer Hyrule. No, the entire world. Link, now we are the only ones who can protect Hyrule. Please. Thank you. I am afraid. I have a feeling that man is going to destroy Hyrule. He has such terrifying power. But it's fortunate that you have come. We must not let Ganondorf get the Triforce. I will protect the Ocarina of Time with all my power. He shall not have it. You go find the other 2 spiritual stones. Let's get the Triforce before Ganondorf does, and then defeat him. One more thing. Take this letter. I'm sure it will be helpful to you.
You received Zelda's letter. Wow, this letter has Princess Zelda's autograph. On the item subscreen, you can set it to 1, X, Y, or 2, and then use it to take it out and show it to people.
I am Impa of the Sheikah. I am responsible for protecting Princess Zelda. Everything is exactly as the princess foretold. You are a courageous boy. You are heading out on a big new adventure, aren't you? My role in the princess's dream was to teach a melody to the one from the forest. This is an ancient melody passed down by the royal family. I have played this song for Princess Zelda as a lullaby ever since she was a baby. There is mysterious power in these notes. Now, listen carefully.
You've learned Zelda's lullaby.
If the castle soldiers find you, there will be trouble. Let me lead you out of the castle. You brave lad. We must protect this beautiful land of Hyrule. Take a good look at that mountain. That is Death Mountain, home of the Gorons. They hold the spiritual stone of fire. At the foot of Death Mountain you will find my village, Kakariko. That is where I was born and raised. You should talk to some of the villagers there before you go up Death Mountain. The song I just taught you has some mysterious power. Only royal family members are allowed to learn this song. Remember, it will help to prove your connection with the royal family. The princess is waiting for you to return to the castle with the stones. Alright, we're counting on you.
And we have our objective. So naturally, the first thing I'm going to do is ignore the objective completely. We met with Malin and Talon of the Lon Lon Ranch, and I think that we should revisit the ranch during the daytime, now that they're going to be there, because they've all gone home to the ranch. But we know what we're going to do next. We're going to Death Mountain, home of the Gorons, to get the Spiritual Stone of Fire, and hopefully find all 3 spiritual stones to open the Door of Time using the Ocarina of Time. It happens to be a very gloomy sunset, or very beautiful, actually. It's kind of pretty. You know, I like it. This is a good time to be here. But instead of being outside, let's head on inside. Where we see Talon sitting here.
Huh? I'm awake already. What? Well, I'll be. If it ain't the forest kid from the other day. By the way, thanks for waking me up. It took some doing, but I finally got Malin back in a good mood. So, what are you up to today? Got some free time on your hands, you say? Well, how about a little game? These 3 Cuckoos I have here are special super Cuckoos. I'm gonna throw these Cuckoos into that there gaggle of normal Cuckoos. If you can pick out these 3 special birds from among the normal Cuckoos in the time limit, I'll give you something good. If you can't find them, I win. It'll be 10 rupees. Wanna play?
Sure, let's go ahead and play.
You have 30 seconds. Alrighty then. Get ready. Here go the super Cuckoos. Start looking.
So the 3 Super Cuckoos get launched off into 3 different locations. The locations that they fall are always the same. However, they do tend to wander around a lot, so gotta be quick to pick them up, even if you know roughly where they are. There's one over here, one that falls over here, and the last one should be somewhere in this corner, and that's it!
Golly, I'll be darned, it's plumb incredible! That's the last one, you found them all, come on over here! Hey you! You got the talent to be one of the world's best cowboys! How would you like to marry Malin, huh?
Sure.
I was just kidding. I think you're a little young for that, aren't you? Oh, I'm proud to present you with a sample of our very own Lon Lon milk. You'll be energized the moment you drink it. After you drink it, you'll bring back the bottle and buy a refill anytime you want.
You got Lon Lon milk. This milk is very nutritious. Use it with 1, X, Y, or 2 to recover your life energy. You will recover 5 hearts per drink. There are 2 drinks per bottle. On the item subscreen, you can set it to 1, X, Y, or 2, and then use 1, X, Y, or 2 to take a drink. Now, finding the Cuckoos is not that difficult. You just have to know where they fall. They fall around here, one falls around here, and then one falls around here. But if you're having trouble, there is another option for you. If you pick up the Cuckoos and just throw them into the corner, like so, just grab them all, throw them in there, and then the 3 Super Cuckoos will be the only ones left. So that'll be great. And also, I just want to point out this drawing of Malin, Talon, and Ingo. We actually haven't met Ingo now that I think about it. Let's go meet Ingo, shall we? While we're here. Haven't brought up or mentioned Ingo. Ingo is here in the ranch if you come here before Malin and Talon are back, but he's still here now.
I can't believe it. I, the great Ingo, am working in this dump of a ranch. Because the owner is so lazy, I'm always have to do all the work around here. I, the hard-working Ingo, should be in charge, not that lazy bum Talon.
Yeah, he's a little bit, ungrateful. But that's fine, there's nothing wrong with that. But if we head out over this way, you might hear a familiar sound. Why, it's Malin, of course.
Oh, it's the fairy boy again. I heard you found my dad. How did you like the castle? Did you see the princess? Dad came home in a hurry after you found him. Oh yeah, I have to introduce you to my friend Fairy Boy. She's this horse. Her name is Epona, isn't she cute?
Oh man. Listen, I love horses. Horses are my favorite animal. There is nothing sadder in the world to me than being rejected by a horse. I just want to be all of their friends.
It seems like Epona's afraid of you, Fairy Boy. My mother composed the song. Isn't it nice? Let's sing together.
Well, I say we do. I have yet to show how to play the ocarina other than the time that was during the cutscene. I'm actually going to go a little bit away from her. When you pull out the ocarina by touching the ocarina icon, you have 5 notes to play with. You have L, R, Y, X, A. And that is in order from lowest note to highest note. For those of you playing on the N64 version, it is A, which is the lowest note, and then down, right, left, up, C, I think is the order that it goes. I might have my lefts and rights mixed up. And that's how you play songs. We actually learned Zelda's Lullaby, which is... So that's how you play the ocarina. Let's play the ocarina with Malin so that we can sing together like she suggested we do. Oh, cute ocarina! Are you gonna play the song with that ocarina? You've learned Epona's song. And now, as you can see here, Epona absolutely loves us. She is shoving us around with reckless abandon until she can't shove us no more. Now, Epona's song not only makes you nice and friendly with horses, it also has another purpose. First of all, I'm going to pop into my items here, and I'm going to equip this this milk that Malin has given us. I'm going to swap out for the letter that we got from Princess Zelda, and show you guys that using the milk, which... Nope, that's the wrong button. I may or may not have mapped buttons to touch points on the screen because I'm playing this on legitimate hardware. This is legitimate hardware, guys. Go ahead and take a swig of milk, and it refills your hearts. But also, if you take another swig of milk, what you end up with is an empty bottle. This is an empty bottle. You remember earlier we were looking in the potion shop and a lot of the things said that you need an empty bottle to use them? Well, we got our first empty bottle. But inside here, of course, naturally, there would be some cows in the stable. What happens if you play Epona's song next to a cow?
What a nice song. It reminds me of the pasture. That song makes me feel so good I can produce a lot of milk. Have some of my refreshing, nutritious milk.
You got Lon Lon milk. This milk is very nutritious. Use it with 1X, Y, or 2 to recover your life energy. It's the same text as before, so you can go ahead and get yourself some more milk to drink. Now listen, everybody, this is a PSA for those of you watching this at home. Do not drink raw cow milk. It is not good for you. You need to pasteurize the milk before it becomes drinkable. You will die, probably, maybe. Alright? Anyway, it is just about nighttime, and I actually wanted to go to the next area during the daytime, so I'm actually going to use this time to show off that thing that I mentioned before about the stall children, which I didn't get to show off because we didn't have enough time, but I am going to cut to the point where it's actually night to show that off. Ah, there we go! I got it! So, after you've killed enough stall children, this stall child is much bigger than the other ones, and killing it will, I think it will always net you a blue rupee. It's hard to say because they can randomly drop blue rupees, but that is a little Easter egg if you kill enough of them. Now, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, please, but theoretically you could just keep killing them over and over again, and every time a big one would spawn, it actually spawns even bigger. So if night were never ending, that star child would keep increasing in size over and over again. It's a little weird, but with that out of the way, let's go and see Kakariko Village. Welcome to Kakariko Village. This is a lovely, lovely area. I love this place a lot. I just think, especially in the 3D version, like, again, I cannot stress just how much the updated graphics of this game really hold the whole thing together. Right there, that's your thumbnail. There are a few places I want to show off in this place. First of all, I'm going to pop into my gear menu here. You can see that we've been collecting these golden skull tokens for a little while now, and I never really specified what exactly they were for. Well, if you come to this weird, seemingly abandoned-looking building with a bunch of letters, notes on it, guess we're playing Slender or something. That's an unnecessary reference. Oh my god!
We all look like this because of the spider's curse. If every spider of the curse in the entire world were destroyed, the curse would be broken. When you destroy a spider of the curse, a token will appear. Collect it as proof of your achievement. The number next to this icon on the gear subscreen indicates how many spiders of the curse you have destroyed so far. When this item is displayed next to the name of an area on the map subscreen, there are no more spiders in that area. Look for them not only out in the open, but also inside the dungeons. Of course, this is just our dream. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. If you break the curse on my family, we will make you very rich.
Yeah, I'm cursed! That's the only time I'm gonna be doing that, because that hurt. Yeah, so this is the House of Skulltula. It's covered in webs, and there are a bunch of cursed individuals here. Unfortunately, we do not yet have enough spiders of the curse to break the curse, but I will be sure to show off this place again when we do. And I just love how unsettling this is. I implore you, if you're playing the 64 version, come back to this place and just look around. Just go into first person and have a look around, because this place is very atmospheric. The music being the same music as the Deku Tree, the dark lighting. It's a lot more brown in the original version, which I actually think adds to it. I think the 3DS version makes up for the not as good color palette by having all the webs everywhere, but I think that the color palette of the original is a little bit better. But that's all I had to show off there. Let's keep having a look around. What do you have going on? You look like you're in some kind of trouble.
What should I do? My cuckoos have all flown away. You little boy, please help me bring them back to this pen.
Huh, well, we've got a bit of a cuckoo problem, or a lack thereof. Looks like we gotta grab these cuckoos and throw them back into the pen. Now, I happen to know where all of the cuckoos are, so I'm going to just be showing you guys where they are. But in the meantime, I do want to talk a little bit about, of all things, Deku Sticks. Yeah, so I made a little mention a couple episodes ago about the beta version and how Deku Sticks work differently. I made a correction in editing that I did get something wrong there. That Deku Sticks were originally going to be a single item that was single use, and when it broke into a half. Now, there is something else that's interesting about Deku Sticks, and that is that in the original Ocarina of Time version, the Deku Stick texture is completely, well, it's bugged, I should say. And it's something that took a long time for people to realize that it is bugged, because, of all things, it didn't look like it was bugged. It never looked wrong or anything. But I don't know fully the details, but I do know that the texture that the game means to load for the Deku Stick texture is different than the one that the game does load. And that is actually the reason why it looks different between Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. I think it reads like garbage data as the texture or something like that. But, yeah, so it's interesting that the Deku Stick texture looks different than it should, and no one noticed because it looks fine. In fact, if you look at the original Deku Stick texture, I actually like the new one better. But of course, in the 3D version, the Deku Stick is completely textured properly and everything. I actually need to keep this Kuko. As you saw earlier, I was using the Kuko to glide down to that other Kuko. Well, we actually need to do the same thing over here. Jump over this gap, and just for the sake of efficiency, I'm going to throw that guy out there. Now, I'm not doing this the most efficient way. I'm just, taking my time, doing a little casual stroll. You can do this fairly quickly if you use the optimal route, but we ain't speedrunners here. Unless you are a speedrunner, in which case I'm very, very sorry. And I think, the last Kuko is up here. And this is a time where I just want to talk about the music again. Music? So pretty. Good music. Love this song. Now we got ourselves 3 Kukos kind of gathered up here. And, well, let's see if those are the last 2. I want to be sure I didn't miss any. Did you say other 2? Other 2. Okay, perfect. We did find them all. Excellent. Great! It's just so pleasant listening to this music and gathering Kukos. Like, this game is really good when you just slow down and just take it all in, man. I really like it. Thank you for finding my Kukos. I have allergies, so I get goosebumps when I touch them. For helping me, I will give this to you. Isn't it all sparkly and pretty? Please take good care of it. And that is our second empty bottle. After you put something in this bottle, set it to 1, X, Y, or 2 when you want to use the item inside. Now, we've seen that we can put milk in a bottle, but what else can one put in a bottle, you might ask? Well, under this rock, you find some weird little creepy crawly guys. And guess what? They can go in a bottle as well. You put a bug in the bottle. You can release it with 1, X, Y, or 2. This kind of bug prefers to live in small holes in the ground. Now, you might not realize it. You might not realize it. But that's a hint, guys. That's actually a super secret hint. It's a secret tool that we'll use for later. Now, let's see what's over this way. The Kakariko Village Graveyard. Let's see what the graveyard has to offer. Let's pay our respects to those since past. R.I.P. Here lie the souls of those who swore fealty to the royal family of Hyrule. The Sheikah, guardians of the royal family and founders of Kakariko, watch over these spirits in their eternal slumber. Heart-pounding grave-digging tour from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Hyrule time! Dampé the Gravekeeper! When I was practicing this game, I read the signs in that order, and I just thought that was so funny. It's just like, just so somber, so serious, and then, it's the heart-pounding grave-digging tour! Excellent! Let's see what this kid here has to say. Little kids can't go on the heart-pounding grave-digging tour described on the sign. Since I can't do that, I'm just imitating Dampé the Gravekeeper all day. But with my cute face, I'm not heart-pounding at all, am I? I can't say that you are, my friend. Now, if you get behind the graves, you can actually grab them and pull on them, but don't cause trouble, I'll tell Dampé! Yeah, this kid is not going to, not gonna let us have it, is he? Well, that's okay. That's not a big deal. Because over here, there's a little, patch of something. You see a small mound of soft soil here. If you go ahead and use the bugs and drop them down, you'll drop down 3 bugs. And if you catch one, you can actually catch it. Maybe you can't. I guess they fixed that. So I'm going to have to be sure to remember that in the future, that we need more bugs. But we got ourselves another gold Skulltula. They live in the soft soil. These gold Skulltulas are Skulltulas that I never found as a kid, because dropping bugs into soft soil is just such an obscure thing that I never thought to do it. But, nevertheless, there are other things here in the graveyard that I want to show off. Go ahead and, these graves next to this big grave here, if you go ahead and check this, Royal Composer Bros, Sharp the Elder, rest in peace. And there he is! Poe of the Graveyard. If you stare at it with L targeting, it will disappear. Sure enough, if you stare at it with L targeting, it'll disappear. However, if you shield its attack with your shield, when it does attack, or maybe just wait a little while. Huh. Yeah! You killed me! Unbelievable! Oh, what? You're not one of Ganondorf's men, are you? Because of my role as a ghost, I had to act like that. I apologize. Now then, let me introduce myself. I am one of the ghostly composer brothers of Kakariko Village. All the people in the village are born to serve the royal family of Hyrule. We brothers also served in the royal family and were assigned to study the hereditary mystic powers of the family. Though we never could figure out the power of the Triforce, we had almost completed our study of controlling time with the tones of ocarinas. Actually, we did complete that study. We would have been famous if that hateful Ganondorf had not tried to steal our results. We could never let him reap the fruits of our research. That's why we gave our lives to protect the secret. Do you want to hear what I said again? No, I don't really have any need to do so. And over here, we have the Royal Composer Bros Flat the Younger. Now, these are just regular Poes. If you Z-target it, it will disappear. As it said, if I had Deku Nuts, I would throw a Deku Nut to show you that throwing a Deku Nut makes it reappear. But alternatively, it seems that it's just going to reappear if you let it sit for enough. And also, I love this little animation that he's kind of like conducting as he goes. I think it's kind of neat. Just keep slashing at him and hope that he basically walks into my blade. These aren't really that difficult of enemies to deal with. Yeah! I'm dead again! Wait, have we met before? Somehow you remind me of Princess Zelda. Since you may have some connection with the royal family, I will tell you a little more of our tale. Back then, people called us great composers because of the many musical masterpieces we wrote. But we brothers were not just composers. We had a mission to analyze the mysterious powers of Hyrule's royal family. Our names would be a part of Hyrule's history if we could complete our research. We kept our study extremely secret until we completed it. To tell the truth, each of us was studying a different song, one to summon the sun and another to summon the moon. If you were really sent by a member of the royal family, I will tell you about the results of our study. We inscribed it on the royal tombstone. As a messenger of the royal family, you should show your royal credentials on the top of the Triforce mark. Do you want to hear what I said again? Interesting. So, these composer brothers were trying to create a song that controls time, and their results were successful and inscribed on the royal family's tomb. But not this royal family's tomb. We need to show our royal credentials, and what better way to show our royal credentials than to play a song that only members of the royal family should know? I didn't do it! Quick, get away! Here we are in the royal family's tomb. Inside here, we have a new enemy. Keese. When you get close to it, use L targeting. Even if it flies away, you can still target it. These guys are annoying. They're not as annoying to me with as the Gways are, but they have pretty much the same gimmick. But you can target them and shoot them with your slingshot to take them out. Nice and simple. If we go ahead and take out all the Gways that are in here, not the Gways, the Keese that are in here, that will open the door. And we get a nice little heart for our troubles as well. That's nice and pleasant. Continuing on, we have a very creepy room. Ugh. Now these are another new enemy that I can't target until it's... oh gosh. Redead. Its gaze will paralyze you. If it grabs you, rapidly tap A to escape. Yeah, it stares at you and screams, and that's what makes you freeze. If it's looking at you, that's how it hits you. And if it grabs you, mash A as quickly as you can to get out. Now, I'm not sure if mashing other buttons also helps you get out. It seems to, and it may look as though they are coming after you after you've killed one of them, but they're actually going over to it. Now, I want to mention that Redead's designs are different in this game than they were in the 64 version, and that's because they were made to more closely resemble their artwork that you saw at the top corner of the screen in the bio there. But we can just go ahead and walk around all these pits of acid. These things will hurt you if you stand in it. It's kind of rough, but here we have an inscription. This poem is dedicated to the memory of the dearly departed members of the royal family. The rising sun will eventually set. A newborn's life will fade. From sun to moon, moon to sun. Give peaceful rest to the living dead. This is an interesting poem. Huh? Something else is inscribed on the tombstone. It's the secret melody of the Composer brothers. You've learned the Sun Song. Restless souls wander where they don't belong. Bring them calm with the Sun Song. Indeed, like the poem says, playing the Sun Song will calm the living dead. But only for a limited amount of time, so you gotta be quick if you plan on killing these guys. Now, I've accidentally gotten myself a broken stick here. I didn't mean to do that. This is, I think it's a glitch? Question mark? I'm not actually sure, but if you hit an enemy with a jump slash or something, I'm not actually sure how to do it on purpose. You'll get a stick that's broken, and sticks do slightly more damage than the sword does, and stuff of that nature. That's about all I have to say about that. It's much more powerful in the 64 version when sticks did even more damage than the sword does, but that's not important. But I think that's where we're going to end things today. Next time on The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, we will continue exploring Kakariko Village, and then afterwards, we'll make our way up to Death Mountain. See you guys then.